CNN News. This week is Parshas Va'eschanan, and in it, Moshe continues to review the Torah with the Jews and to go through times that they went through, and he reviews with them some of the mitzvahs. Now, one of the mitzvahs he reviews with them is the mitzvah of mezuzah. This is a really special mitzvah. This mitzvah is that on parchment written by a man who's called a sofer. He basically writes on parchment, he writes Torahs, and he writes mezuzahs. We write the Shema on it, and they roll it up and put it into a little box, and it's called a mezuzah. And we put these on every single doorpost of our homes, and they protect us and keep us from harm. There are so many stories about the mitzvah of mezuzah and how it has the power to change a person's life. I'm going to tell you one of these stories. There was a family and had a young son, and one day he was just playing quietly with his toys, and his mother saw him. She was like, wait, this is not the kid I know. He's usually really active and running around. So she checked his temperature and it wasn't good. So they went to the doctor, and the doctor did tests, and he tried to see what was wrong, and he couldn't tell. He couldn't find anything. And they went back a few times, and for around a week, this was going on. And once on the way back from the doctor, they didn't know what was wrong. They looked at each other, the mother and the father, and were like, wait, why don't we check our mezuzahs? Because there's a custom to check your mezuzahs to make sure that they're all good. And if something happens, a lot of people check their mezuzahs. So they decided, okay, we're gonna check our mezuzahs. So they sent it off to the sofer, and they waited. And a few days later, they get a call. And the sofer says, do you by any chance have a child who is sick? And they were like, what? Yeah, we do. He said some of the letters, some of the Hebrew letters in the mezuzah were like cut off, something happened to it. And instead of what it was supposed to say, it said in Hebrew, sick child. And so right away he fixed it. And soon, a little bit later, the child who was sitting on his mother's lap reading a story quietly, he jumped up and got back to his normal self. Right away they called the doctor, and the doctor was like scared something happened, so he answered right away, and they said, we're coming over, let's do one more test just to make sure everything's fine. And they came, and everything was totally okay. And this just shows the power of a mezuzah. So I want you guys to check every single doorpost of your house and make sure you've got a mezuzah on there. And we're so lucky to learn about this mitzvah of mezuzah in this week's Parsha. Let's head over to Colorful Cook's Kitchen to make something connected to this message. Hello, and welcome to Colorful Cook's Kitchen. Today we are going to be making a mezuzah, because in this week's Parsha, Parshas Va'eschanan, one of the mitzvahs that Moshe reviews with the Jewish people is the mitzvah to have a mezuzah. Let's get started. You're gonna need just one wafer, a little bit of pull-apart Twizzlers, and marshmallow fluff. This can be really simple. So just take your wafer, place it down, and then we're just gonna make a shin out of our pull and peel. So I'm just gonna stick it into frosting. What am I saying, frosting? So marshmallow fluff. I use my fingers and I put it all over because I think it could be part of the design, but you can do whichever way you like. And then I'm just gonna take two really small dots and put them one on top and one on bottom to kind of look like the nails, just to add some more design. And there you have it. We've got our very own mezuzah. This looks really real. And you can even eat it. Don't forget to make a bracha on mizonos on your wafer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei mizonos. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Let's head back to the studio. Welcome back to the studio. I hope you enjoyed that colorful cook, and I hope you remember how it connects to this week's Parsha. And now for the Torah message of the week. And we are up to week number 9. Last week we learned that wherever we are, we should learn Torah and ask our parents to teach us Torah. And we are up to week number 9. Let's learn something new. It says, Yagaiti velo matzasi al ta'amin. Lo yagati umatzasi al ta'amin. Yagaiti umatzasi ta'amin. This is my favorite Torah message. It says, basically, it's like a tongue twister. It starts off, if someone says, I worked hard and I didn't succeed, don't believe him. And then it says, if someone says, I didn't work hard, but I succeeded, don't believe him. But if someone says, I worked hard and I succeeded, then you should believe him. So we learn, give it all you got and you'll be successful. Work hard and then you will see good results. Basically, do your best and it will all work out. And now for the question of the week.
What is the purpose of the mezuzah?
I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to fill out the question and I can't wait to see you next week.